And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads, and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to deliver, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto God, and to his throne. Revelations 12-5, King James Version. One nation on this earth, one country that has a one-child policy, 1 child per household. And if any other children are born to this household, it is a high crime. This country is unchallenged. This nation has its hands in everything. You'd be hard-pressed to find anything that you own, any store, or any business that does not have dealings with them. The products and food that you find in your home or in your restaurants are from this country. This country is called China. China is the only nation on this earth to be called also the Red Dragon. If you pay close attention to what goes on this earth, if you look closely and analyze everything, you're not really left with too many questions. Right now, we're supposedly in a pandemic. Some say that the illness, the disease, was actually made in China. Others say other things. The speculation doesn't really mean much, but what does is the fact that this country is unchallenged. They are openly communist. That basically means that the government rules. Government meaning mind control. They have their hands in everything. They control and surveil everything, even the citizens. Up close and personal. It's the only nation to openly admit that the drones that fly around the cities actively surveil the citizens. No one challenges the government in China without repercussions. It's at a point where it doesn't matter if you can see it or not. Its mark is on just about everything, and if the mark is not on it, then the building in which it's made, the mark is there. The land then is owned by China. They control everything. Whose idea was it that all cars after 2018 have to have cameras? It wasn't mine, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't yours. The reality of the situation is the laws that are passed and the people who pass them don't work for you, and they certainly don't work for me. But they do get paid, which means they work for someone. You and I are at a huge disadvantage when it comes to the true comprehension of power and the power dynamics and influence in this earth. If you think about organizations like Planned Parenthood and what they do with the children who are murdered there, you start to get a very different picture, because those bodies aren't discarded. The stem cells that are found aren't discarded as biohazard waste. They're taken and they're sold and they're used in products. If you really think about it deeper, the water being corrupted, the food being corrupted, what is really going on? The chemical compounds known as fluoride, water fluoridation, is this going on everywhere? Or is it going on in places where the people need to be controlled? They need to be docile. I'm going to ask you this. Does America really have bases all over the earth? Recruiting is way down. Most Americans are completely obese. Soldiers and the requirements to be them have never been so low. I believe they're trying to enact a draft on women now. What is the purpose of this? Women are completely ineffective fighters. The men are feminized. Cancel culture rules the day in this country. So let me ask you this. What truly rules in China? Because if you take a look, the people and the perception given is very controlled. The true knowledge of what really goes on there is very limited. But what we do know is they have the largest population of all the nations, and they make all the products. Question for you is this: who do you really think the true superpower is?